Hey guys, first regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about an auto bolt rifle build for the tactical class in patch 11.0 Space Marine 2. Now, the auto bolt rifle is kind of a memed on weapon. This weapon is really not that bad anymore. It may be the weakest bolter option in the game currently, but that being said, it can still perform very well, especially versus Tyranids, and overall, the perk tree may be limited, but it does have a pretty good option for barrel stuffing, thanks to perks here like Home Precision. Equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 50% when firing without aiming. This perk basically turns your gun into a laser beam on the hip fire. You really don't want to actually aim down the sights on this weapon at all thanks to this perk, similar to a bolt carbine, so really great option. It's like the first thing in the best part of this perk tree. Next perk here is Close Combat. Enemies at a distance of no more than 15 meters take 15% more damage. You kind of get the idea of what this weapon's supposed to be about, which is a close range barrel stuff weapon, and this one definitely fits into that. Next perk here is Fast Reload, into the perk here Headhunter, into the most important perk, which is Elite Hunter. After killing a Major level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Now, this perk will not trigger on only a melee kill. You can also just do a finisher with your weapon, though I will say to actually trigger the perk, you have to have the weapon equipped. If you swap off the weapon for any reason while it's active, you will lose the effect, so just keep that in mind. Now, next perk here is Great Might, over here into the perk Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your health by 10%. Now, this perk is really good in the game right now, but in patch 12, they are buffing up the perk Crack and Penetrator rounds to give you 50% more damage on body shots with bolter weapons, and both this perk and the perk down here, Rampage, will benefit from that a lot because killing Minoris in rapid succession is really easy when you don't have to hit a headshot on every single one. So really good perks already, but they'll be even better in patch 12, so just make sure you're aware of that. And the final perk is Recoupment. Killing a Majora's level or higher enemy with a headshot with this weapon restores one armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds, and having armor restore built into your weapon here is a super powerful effect. It helps you save on a ton of HP, and the tactical is quite a squishy class, so getting armor back on headshots is a really good option for him. Now, for the secondary weapon I take here, I just picked up the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. This one is great for CHP regen, stagger, and overall damage. Even though I'm not taking the perk here, Plasma Boost, today, I mean, you could take this if you really wanted to. I'm taking Balance Distribution just for, like, the bonus primary damage, but Plasma Boost is overall better for this weapon because the Plasma Pistol's secondary damage is pretty ridiculously high. It's actually one of the best DPS weapons in the entire game with that perk. But either way, I would set up the perk tree like this, building into ammunition, because the ammo economy on this thing does just suck ass. And also, perks like Perpetual Velocity are already top tier options anyways, and they're right in the ammunition tree. And on top of that, you have access for bonus damage down here with Divine Might, even more ammunition and plasma collection. So a really good option overall. Now, for the melee weapon, we do take the Power Gladius. Now, the Power Gladius is the best knife in the entire game. I actually think this is the best in slot option for the tactical currently right now, outside of things like the Blockchain Sword, because this weapon effect here is called Agile Strike. After a perfect dodge, the next melee attack deals 120% more damage and can be stacked up to 3 times. Now, there's one other effect of this perk it doesn't tell you, which is that the effect here for the bonus damage will linger for 1 second after your initial attack, and because of that, you can get things off like a light combo, a heavy attack combo on top of things like your Shadow Stab, and this one is just a really good weapon overall. Now, I will say, you can straight up one-shot bosses with this weapon. Now, some people may not think this is the most practical thing ever because you do need like an Auspex with precise calibration and concentrated fire down on top of all the charges on your knife potentially, but if we're being real, it's a lot more practical than it might sound because getting a double charge off of Shadow Stab after some perfect dodges on stuff like a Carnifex, I mean, if you time it properly, you can save the charges if you want. It's pretty easy to either do like 75% of a boss's HP or 100%. Either way, the amount of damage this weapon puts out is tremendous. It is really the best option. That's why for the perk tree, we set up all damage here, Perpetual Strength and Kinetic Energy, into a 10% melee damage increase with both of the Perpetual Strength perks here, and then we pick up Heavy Onslaught. This one says heavy attacks with this weapon deal 15% more melee damage. This will also buff up the damage on your Shadow Stab to do even more damage on top of the Agile Strike perk. You kind of get the idea. And then we pick up Reeling Blow and, of course, Shadow Stab. because this perk is the best single target damage perk on the knife, and the knife in general is like 99% a single target weapon anyways, so just always grab this. And the final two perks are Tide of Battle and Terminus Slayer for 20% bonus damage against bosses, because this is how you actually one-shot them. Though if you want to skip over this because you have like a team that's focused on boss damage already or don't really care, you could take Extremis Slayer. That is up to you. I just took this today to one-shot guys, or attempt to. That's pretty much all there is for the melee weapon here. Now for the tactical perk tree, you do have a few options. You could take balance distribution like I did. Your primary weapon deals 10% more damage, but your secondary weapon deals 10% less damage. This is nice for like any bolter weapon in the game that you want primary damage on, though I will say in patch 12 this is also getting buffed to a 15% damage decrease and a 15% damage loss on your secondary. Really good option either way, and a pretty powerful perk in the game for bolter weapons, though obviously Plasma Boost is better for our secondary and probably the best perk overall here. In the future I would take Crack and Penetrator rounds, but regardless I'm taking balance distribution today because that's just what I prefer. Next perk here is Relentless Pursuit. After a gun strike, range damage increases by 25% for 10 seconds. This perk is pretty damn good. A 25% range damage increase for 10 seconds is a pretty substantial buff for a pretty long uptime. This used to be a 5-second buff, but now it is 10 seconds, so much better now, though Heightened Vigor is probably better for the Power Gladius because A, you get the no knockback, and you also get the bonus damage and the gun strike damage, so pretty good all around. It really is up to you. Even versatility down here with Plasma Boost will do a ton of damage to bosses if you auspex them and parry them, so you know, it really is up to you which one you want to pick in this tree. So what I set up today. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. Killing a majority level or higher enemy restores your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine, cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Emperor's Vengeance is just the ammo economy perk of this entire game on Tactical. Without this, you won't necessarily run out on an auto bolt rifle because this gun is not like horrifically ammo inefficient, but I just pick it up because I am soloing with this. And because of that, I will run out of ammo more than like a team would. But, you know, if you're playing with a group of players, you could take Steady Aim or Emperor's Judgment. That is up to you. I think this one's the best perk overall in this gun if you're playing like a team, mainly because 20% more damage for 10 seconds is really nice. And also instantaneously reloading this weapon is pretty good as well. But, you know, that is up to you. Next perk here is Aligned Aim. Range damage increases by 15% for all team members. This perk, once again, just makes your ranged weapons feel way better. Secure Stockpile is obviously a far superior perk because this perk is like the best team perk in the entire game, but Aligned Aim is still pretty strong. And you can even take a tested Transhuman Physiology for CHP if you want to, but you know, I set this one today for bonus damage. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning Extremis or Terminus level enemy restores Auspex scans charged by 50%. This just gives you more Auspexes versus Extremis and Terminus, and those are the enemies you want Auspex against anyways, and also a really good synergy here with the next two perks, which are Precise Calibration and Concentrated Fire, because getting a 60% last prolonging Auspex with a 120% damage buff here, but you know, if they leave the marked area, they will lose the mark. But if you have Precise Calibration on top of this, you will have 195% damage bonus on your Auspex and have it lasting longer, and really, you're only going to be using this on bosses, so the reduced radius here doesn't really matter because bosses are super fat in this game, and on top of that, them being unable to leave the marked area, or excuse me, them leaving the marked area, making them lose the scan doesn't really matter that much either, because there are a lot of times in this game like a Neurothrop will shout, a Carnifex will ram into a wall, a Hellbrute will just slam his hammer down, and all those are great moments to just put this Auspex down and get that huge damage buff, so a great option for sure. Final perk here is Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant air effect damage in a 10-meter radius. Cooldown is 90 seconds. This is just the best signature perk on Tactical by far. Like, these other two don't even come close. Marked for Death is pretty shit. Signal Jammer is definitely shit. Just take this one. It will wipe out Majora's packs. It will wipe out Extremis packs at time as well. Really, really good option, and I would just pick this one up all the time. Now, for the Prestige perk tree, I do take Acuity for headshot damage because we are a bolter build, and bolters just need headshot damage in this game, unfortunately. And I take Skilled Supplier, Resilience, and Fortitude because overall I think these are the best, unless you're using a grenade launcher and playing in like Siege mode with spare power. But like, this one's not bad. These four are just better for this build in my opinion, and Second Look is pretty shit, and Exigency Charge is definitely shit. But that is pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Auto Bolt Rifle is in an okay spot. It will feel better next patch because you are getting the buff through the Crack and Penetrator rounds, and this will also be a weapon that'll be available on Techmarine, but to be honest, it's going to be worse on Techmarine than Tactical because Tactical just has all these ridiculously powerful range perks, and he really is just like the king of bolter weapons, which is why he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 You have 5 bolter weapons here, and unless you count the combi melta as well, and the upcoming heroic heavy bolt rifle variant on top of that. So a lot of good options on him, but auto bolt rifle is one we chose today, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to come hang out with me live or ask me questions about the game, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. Now keep in mind, this gun's gonna get better next patch.
The storm has dissipated.
Pew pew pew. Did you like the Space Wolves? Yeah, Space Wolves were in my top 5. Dude, I swear to God, the only reason Space Wolves get hate in 40k is because of that werewolf shit. If they didn't have that, they'd be one of the coolest, like, wouldn't even be close. I mean, they still are. They're one of the most unique factions in God. I mean, as far as the Codex non-compliant chapters go, Black Templars and Space Wolves are by far my favorite. Also, stupid wolf helmets, they got rid of those. I know I was talking to Lore Master of Sotek once, he loves the werewolf aspect of them, but I'm like, bro, it's the worst part. But he likes fantasy more than this anyways. I used to like fantasy more than 40k, but the more I learned about 40k, then I'm like, okay, I understand this is the most popular one because it's just sci-fi. The sci-fi fantasy setting just works better, in my opinion, than the fantasy stuff. Even though they kind of carry fantasy. Fantasy's so good. Science fiction fantasy is rad, one of the few things that kept Destiny afloat for so long. It's also one of the things that kept Star Wars afloat for so long, but like sci-fi fantasy is really not that common. I think people really confuse hard sci-fi for sci-fi fantasy all the time, or they compare the two too much. Like Star Trek and Star Wars, Star Trek and 40k, they are nothing alike. Star Wars and 40k are way closer than Star Trek and 40k are. The Star Shrek. Alright, where the fuck is this guy? God, the precise calibration aspect. It's too much damage from the handle, from an audible rifle.
At the first objective, Lieutenant Titus.
Activate the quartermaster's console and wake the machine spirit.
I'll say, you know what the middle ground between all these series really is? It's Dune, and that's probably because Dune inspired half of sci-fi that we have today. So you see a lot of influence from that in both Star Trek. Well, actually, Star Trek's an OG. You see a lot of influence that in like 40k, and some of the other sci-fi series of The Expanse that come out. How can I dare? How can I dare to forget that sci-fi was one of the Star Trek is one of the oldest science fiction series in the world right now. At least from like what we consider a modern one, as far as popular ones are concerned. My dad was a huge fan of Next Generation, so I naturally took after that. Sad thing is, Star Trek peaked when Next Generation ended. I liked Deep Space Nine. I thought Voyager was okay. You know, I even liked the 2005 Enterprise series quite a bit. I thought that was pretty good, with Captain John Archer. That was underrated. Ow. $40K is older than Dune as well. Only a shorts comment section can bring me. All right. Well, if you think that's true, let's do a 2-second Google search. Dune, first book, release date. August 1965. Warhammer 40K, first edition. September 1987. Our brain is mush, I'm afraid. Yeah, 40K is totally older than Dune. You mean Dune, the series that inspired, where the God Emperor literally came from? Yeah, definitely. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? That's sci-fi heresy you just said. Be honest, do you read the YouTube short stream chat? Well, obviously, considering that's where that came from. Guys, did you guys know that, like, where the fuck do you think the God Emperor came from? It's an idea from Dune. That's all. I mean, it's different in 40K, obviously, but Dune is one of the OG sci-fi. You can see its influence everywhere, like Tatooine, Star Wars in general, even parts of Star Trek in the later parts. Doctor Who, obviously. Yeah, it's from Doctor Who. That's another OG series. I haven't seen too much of the original Doctor Who series. I liked the Revive series for a while. I did go back and watch parts of the OG in like the 60s, but it wasn't really my thing. I didn't really care too much for it. It was a little too British. Too British. Lily had to stop by for the stream to watch you prove him wrong. Lol, don't disrespect Frank Herbert like that. That's true. Frank Herbert was an amazing, a true visionary of sci-fi. Not that 40K doesn't bring its own stuff to the table, because it definitely does. But the inspiration is pretty clear. Like a lot of the things in this. Matt Smith was the last good Doctor, honestly. I agree. I don't like Capaldi that much.
Disgusting tyranny scum.
Nightmare can take about 1.52 hours. I think all Nightmare difficulty runs will only take upwards of an hour and a half tops. I've never had one go beyond that. It depends how many boss spawns you get and which ones they are. Oh, triple Biovore. I didn't know what did I do to deserve this? Games Workshop heard me defending Frank Herbert. The Foundation is an OG of sci-fi too. I haven't really read that. I've heard of it. Wow, that was almost very rude when you used it to me.
You are fertilizer now, Seagull. Ring through the brick, bro. All specs ready to scan.
Saying sorry don't matter if I was wrong. No time to have a rebuttal. Well, what rebuttal would there be besides saying you're wrong? That's the real question. I don't think I've ever met a 40k fan that doesn't say Dune is inspired or Dune inspired 40k. Usually Dune and 40k fans are like overlapping too. They usually know the other series to some extent. Dune's far more of like political sci-fi than 40k is. 40k definitely leans more into the fantasy aspect. I love Dune. How do you feel about the angry Marines? They're pretty angry.
Prepare for low visibility.
Alright, let's just go and line these guys up, shall we?
Stay dead.
Only the one I wanted, but whatever.
The storm has dissipated. Reloading. This way, brothers.
Armor boost, Gene Seed. And here I am without my apothecary. What balanced weapons are going to be peak in patch 12? I mean, they're all going to be better, but the number one winner, in my opinion, is the Thunderhammer, because the balanced Thunderhammer actually hits breakpoints now that just did not before. He got a huge buff. And it feels like a proper side grade, or like closer to a side grade than it did before. Balanced Power Axe played really, really good on Techmarine.
Destroy the storm. Fresh magazine in.
I'm a Night Lord? Yeah, I'm definitely a Night Lord right now. I understand. I'm third company Ultramarine.
Storm has dissipated.
They're both blue and red, so I understand the confusion. Did you try Custodies and Dawn of War Unification? I have hardly touched Dawn of War in ages. The last time I played Dawn of War was Definitive Edition with Milk and Cookies, or Indie. We were playing, and Jeff and I played that too. But besides that, no.
We shall launch this terminus.
Not so much. I'll probably play Dawn of War 4. I'll definitely be playing Total War 40k when that comes out. I mean, that's going to be the biggest 40k game ever. If you like 40k, you're just going to be playing Total War 40k. That's gonna be like the true litmus test for like who's a big fan of 40k in gaming.
Obstruction detected. Removal is required to commence.
Actually, the litmus test? No, purity test.
Acknowledge the
Gotta find out where the real fans are, because I listen. You know, you have the real fans will play Total War 40k no matter what. That's no true Scotsman fallacy. This whole thing. I'm a console pleb, so probably no game for me. Well, it's coming to console, so your plebeian ass will also be able to play Total War 40k.
rearming. War gear acquired.
Now, you know, I don't really mind any series I play becoming popular. But you know what I actually fucking hate? You know where I become like a proper nerd? Is when there's like a tourist into something that pretends to like the thing that other people like because it's popular. That shit is dumb. Like, when you have people that go to conventions and talk about like, oh, I'm a huge fan of X character, but like they pronounce the name completely incorrect. And they call it. Like, have you ever seen those interviews where a celebrity will be like, I've been a big fan of X property since I was a child? And you're like, bullshit. Name one thing about it, I can't find the first page of Wikipedia. Literally TikTok. Guys, I think like this is why Henry Cavill is one of the most popular actors when it comes to like nerd hobbies, because love him or hate him, he definitely likes the properties he talks about. Like, there are things he knows, like, you just would not know if you were not interested. First two were gatekeeping, not even gatekeeping, just like, genuinely, it's stolen nerd valor, okay? That's what it is. Like, it's okay to not be super invested in something, but like, pretending you're invested in something because other people are, or it's cool to do so, is pretty lame. Oh, that's just annoying. And they put the bramble all over these guys. Stolen nerd valor, yeah, you quote me on it.
Clear a blast radius.
Henry Cavill's a king of nerds. It's true, dude. He's just the god emperor of nerds. That's just how it goes.
Fresh magazine in.
Ah, yeah, it's my favorite thing ever. See, this is awesome, though.
You are fertilizer. Changing magazine.
Feed me, feed me. Perfect. Ow.
Suspects engaged.
You're cooked.
Tyranid menace annihilated. Rearming. Throwing crack grenade. Exterminate.
That's a lot of damage. I would have almost one-shot him from full HP. We only had 2 charges there, that's really all we needed.
Full specs prime.
Alright. I wish I didn't waste that.
Pathetic tyranny of fog.
You're excited for the new show, aren't we all? Well, probably not all of us. I am.
Reloading.
Holy range spam, not a sword warrior in sight? Yeah. No kidding. Blessed be the holy bolter.
Rearming. Picking up extra rounds.
Allegedly, Cavill's also going to be in Game of Thrones. I mean, it's funny, in my opinion. Well, Game of Thrones has had 2 fall-offs at this point. We've had House of the Dragon fell off in Season 2. Game of Thrones honestly, like Season 7 and 8 was like a cataclysmic fall-off. Hell, even like Season 6 was pretty bad at some points, but we didn't hit like the peak of bad until 7 and 8. Hollywood proves every single day that anybody can be a screenwriter. It's genuinely just a nepo game. Nepotism game. That's a little fun fact about Hollywood. If you look into like most of the actors in Hollywood, they're all related to like big actors because they all get nepoed in every time pretty much. Not every time, but a lot of cases. What the fuck is this game? I want it. It's Luigi's Mansion 2. It's great, man. We love it.
Stay close and sharp.
Wow, dude, leave it to Shorts comments to be like genuinely fucking brain rot. Holy shit.
Warhead is loaded, Lieutenant.
Good. Deploy it.
Ready to scan.
Alright, everything. Get out of here.
Clear a blast radius.
What's your favorite martial arts movie? Kung Fu Panda.
Minor setback. Let us reevaluate our strategy.
Talassa, I have multiple swarms moving to your location. You have their attention.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms is good. Yeah, I do like that one. But that's also
Don't get another
because
shot of this.
there's a lot. Like, what are you gonna fuck up in Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Did you call us brain rot? Yes. Not all shorts comments are brain rot, but listen, I've been doing YouTube for years, and you can tell there's a distinct difference in a shorts comment section and a normal comment section in like brain rot, the percentage of brain rot.
Tyranids on the tracks! Launch train now! Crush them now! No fear!
No game is worth 90. I don't think that's true at all. Don't tell that to Genshin players. Well, I think we're done, like, when they talk about a game not being worth $90, probably like the upfront price tag.
Link your armor to the Mechanicus device. You will need to keep close proximity to the charging station until the reset is complete.
Okay. Pew pew pew. This game is epic, even at 230 ping in South Africa. It's a very specific number. I imagine it would be. Let's see if we get a second boss spawn here. Do you think if the 40k show flops will be the end for 40k? Absolutely fucking not. Like, it really can't go, like, what's gonna happen? The end of 40k? What do you mean? No diehard 40k fans are coming from, are like, betting their entire love of the franchise on the Henry Cavill show in the first place. At most, you would lose potential new fans, but they're gonna come in from Total War 40k anyways. Well, just a slow decline. Brother, 40k, despite what some people on the internet may be saying, 40k is bigger now than it has ever been. And Total War 40k is not even out yet. Like, it's literally only up from here. Even if 40k is mid, Total War 40k is mid.
If we coordinate precisely, we can
Like, it doesn't even matter. We have Space Marine 3 and Total War 40k both coming out. Also, most 40k games were mid or flops. That's also true. That's also because they used to give the IP out all the time.
These Xenos can't hide. Target rallying reserve forces.
Deploy immediately.
Yes, bro.
Ow. Close bad.
Successful launch.
Games Workshop treated the 40k license like a blunt to be passed around. True.
Detonation in 5. Brace for shock.
Okay. There we go. Best melee class, Assault. Actually, Bulwark, then Assault. Alright, now we've done both of those, it is time for more Nightmare difficulty runs.